Alright, just want to do a real quick recap on the ES since we're nearing, after this big run up, we're nearing the first purple on the hourly, first purple, the first moving average. This is a DEMA high 360, and rubbing up against it. I haven't touched it yet. If I zoom in, I haven't touched it yet, but this could repel us higher, or if we break through it, which is very likely. And we can easily go down to, guess what, previous all-time high, which was the 35, which is this level right here. You know, reason we're going sideways until everything gets lined up at the right levels. I don't know. Anyway, so I mean, it could repel us quickly higher. I just don't see it as, we gotta maybe have a little bit of a consolidation here. At least we gotta go back to the 34, to all the previous all-time highs. Just feels like it. But if I zoom back out again, I just want to point out some of the important pivots. I'm gonna go back even further. So we had the okay, so the 1802 gets strongly, starts making its way up. Here it stayed under it, started working its way out, held it, kind of broke through it, and then pushed higher, but get rejected here, rejected here. Okay, we're going back down. Just, you don't feel it if it does something like that, but moves up, consolidates, and then catches the green one here. Once you get these underneath you and you get momentum going, and now it's the yellows and purple, very little resistance here at the reds and the oranges. First resistance here, you can just start marking these off whenever you get to the couple lines that are together with a big gap in between. That's when you can start seeing some bouncing action. If they're really close together and kind of in the middle, that's a little choppy. You just gotta look at a smaller time frame, or just forget it until you see a good setup on a bigger time frame. So we chop through, chop higher, pull back a little bit, right to the top of this layer. There's no other moving average above it. Right on there with the purple. Anyways, and then you just keep moving your stop up, But these long ramps like that is ideal find, and it's good to learn on how to pick those up. And they happen all the time, everywhere, with different securities. So, but because this is the ES, so I like to follow that. But I do look at a lot of other things with the same setup, and I keep track of it, and it just helps me learn patterns also. Like here's a nice downward channel, bouncing off, there's nothing in between, huge gap here, because we had such a nice run up. So these moving averages make gaps based on, downward channel, bottom trend line, you could draw a trend line here, bounce, nothing below us, bounces up, gets it in, gets rejected at the top of the level. I see that a lot too, which is ideal, is to, if you get a gap and then, get a bounce off the yellows, it likes to run to the top of the range, this downward channel pattern, so it kind of helps you know when is the real bounce, and when is the resistance, and it's all over the place, especially if you do it on the hourly. Follow it real closely. You can pick out some really nice pivot points. I'm still learning this whole concept of it, but I've kind of set it so that it really follows the key moving averages, or ones that are averages of averages. So right now, as we're nearing the purple here, I'll zoom in a little closer, see where we're at. We haven't touched it yet, and we're kind of starting to intersect with it. I've seen, just a second, move it. I've seen a lot of times where if you go sideways into a moving average like that, you gotta pop out of it. So I would expect this to, maybe overnight while asleep, come to these purples at 53.79 and maybe get a potential bounce. We'll have it look like a nice nice morning. Futures might be up, blah blah blah, everything's great. We run up to the 2168 again and then lose steam, and maybe some bad news will come out or some data, negative data. I know earnings have been pretty good so far, but and Republican convention going on, one little thing and it'll be like a domino effect. So and crude will pull back, below $40. Well, no, not below 40, below 44. I think it's gonna actually hit 43, 43.10. I was looking at, anyways. So anything can happen and pull this market back a little bit. This is nothing, not doom and gloom or nothing, just a little healthy pullback. 35 looks really good right now. By that time, it might move up a little bit, be like 36, 37, somewhere around here. So let's see. We'll be looking at, this might take a while if it wants to go up first. So by that time, it might be at a 40 even. Here, or something like that. But we'll see what it does when it first touches the purple. If you could have a order follow this purple, I would put a buy order and just follow it. But yeah, so this is what I'm working on. That's my get up. Yeah. Oh yeah, contract change. That was very interesting. I remember tweeting about that. We had a contract change. I had actually a different target, but look how tightly closed these moving averages are with gap here, gap here. So we started going down this way, what I was expecting, but then it turns around at the end. Zoom in a little closer so it's better to see. I don't know if my video is gonna run out of time. Where's the gap? Where's the gap? Oh, here it is. Okay, just zoom out a little more. Oh, come on. Oops. Let's show you what happened with the gap. It was weird. Gaps do that all the time. They bounce like Netflix, for example. I'll show you. Netflix gapped down on the daily, I think, to the next gap. That's interesting to see. Anyways, so we were gonna go down, but then we had to make a little pit stop and take out some stops. So because that's what they do. And then we tried to hold this level, but immediately didn't even get a bounce. Start rolling through it. That definitely shows weakness. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, just thought I'd put it out there. We have some buy targets down here. Potentially a sell after it fails. Next time it fails, 53, 54. You can see a potential 20-point drop, which is pretty nice. So I guess we'll see. All right.